back to story time with Robert. The bee flying around. I can get rid of it. Speaking of bees, I remember when we had the talk with our kids, the birds and the bees. My oldest, it was no problem at all. She takes after me, and my youngest is like my wife. I mean, they're two totally opposites to each other. So, first one was easy. Second one, we had to think about, we were like, what did we say to Allie? I mean, really? We got in an argument, like, who's going to do it? I'm like, hey, look, y'all know more, you know more about y'all stuff than I do. I mean, I know about their stuff, but they know better about their stuff than I do. It's like, no, I ain't going in there by myself. You remember the conversation that I had with my parents when I was young about the birds and bees? I'm like, oh, I forgot about that one. So let's go back about years, and to when my wife's having the conversation with her parents. Sweetie, if you ever watch this video, I love you. I'm sorry, but it's funny. It's real funny. Would you forgive me? It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. You remember that, kids. So she sits down with her parents, and they're telling her about the birds and the bees. And she's one of they have two kids. She has a brother. It's her and her brother. So there's two. Her and her brother. Very important with this conversation. Her brother's older. So she's sitting there and she's listening to it. Her dad told me, he said, when she got done, she kind of just sat there and looked at us for a minute. And then she went, gross! Oh! And y'all did that twice? And her dad said, yep, sweetie, we did it twice. I mean, we sacrificed for you kids. Yep. We just sacrificed. It was terrible. It was awful. Oh, I can't believe this. I'm ruined for life. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I mean, why do they even call it the birds and the bees to begin with? I mean, explain that one to me. Why, I don't want to hear about the stories. I want to know why it's called the birds and bees. Because I've seen birds and bees, and I ain't never seen them doing nothing like that. For example, you be sitting on the porch with your buddy, smoking your best pipe. Your buddy goes, hey man, come over here and look at this. These two bees, man, they've been going at it. They just tearing it up. Come here, man, look at it. Man, come on. Hey, look at these two birds up the tree. Hurry, go get your camera. You need to record that. Put it on the internet. Get tips. Birds and the bees. Wouldn't it be easier to call it like the dog and the teddy bear? See the dog start tearing up on that teddy bear, you know, going at it. Little Mississippi leg hound going on over there. You'd be like, hey man, hey, Elizabeth, come over here. Look at that. See that right there? That's what we've been talking about. Look at that. That's it. All right, good talk. Isn't that easier? Birds and bees. Oh. Somebody watching this video like, I thought he was a church-going folk. Can't believe he's talking this nasty stuff. This heathen, pervert. I mean, you gotta talk about it. I mean, it's in the Bible. You ever read the Song of Solomon? It's right there. I remember we were doing a little Bible study, and my daughter comes across. She's like, "Ooh, Daddy, can we sing this song?" Oh, look, Song of Solomon. No, baby, we can't sing that song. When you older and you get married and you and your husband can sing that song, but we're not singing that song today. Oh, man. And you got to talk about it nowadays. I mean, back when I was growing up, we didn't have to talk about it. I mean, my parents didn't. They didn't ever tell me anything. I learned it from my peers. I went over to a friend's house. All my friends talked like this. Hey man, come here and look what I found under my dad's bed. Look at this. You know what they're doing? I'll tell you. I'm going to explain it to you. What you learn from my peers? I mean, isn't that the worst place to learn it from? Parents back then, they were like, I don't want to do it. Well, they'll figure it out. Just let them figure it out. That's where we went wrong, y'all. Because my generation had to figure it out. I was like 15 and my mom was like, James, you think we should sit him down and talk about the birds and the bees? I'm like, Mom, I already know about those. Oh, thank God. Okay, see ya. Whew, thank God he knows about it. Whew, I told you we raised a good boy. It's backwards thinking now. You like, they come home from school and they're like, guess what we're learning? Sex ed. And I'm like, that's not their job. It's not the school's job. That's my job. I mean, that's your mama's job. Listen, I'm not letting them teach you. They're here to teach you subjects, math, arithmetic. Well, I think that's the same thing, but you know what I'm saying. It ain't their job to teach you that. That's the problem with schools today. Parents are relying on them to teach their kids what the parents should be teaching them. Well, my parents screwed that up for that. So thank you, Mama, for screwing that up in that generation. Now the school's having to teach it. Just ruined it. I remember when I started getting, it wasn't long after I was introduced to it visually, which I remember I'd go to my grandma's house and my cousin lived 2 houses down, so it was both our grandmas. And we're about the same age. He's a big boy. I mean, he was always bigger than I was a little thing, little homely looking thing, sickly almost. So I was always the favorite of the two because I was just little. And I used that to my advantage on him. He ended up being an all-state linebacker, and he turned out to be a Baptist preacher. His name's Shannon. You got to be a big guy to be named Shannon. You know what I mean? So, but I used to use my size and my favoritism to the grandma. She favored me. And I'd use that and pick on him because he could beat me up. I couldn't beat him up, so I had to use whatever weapon I had. So I would use it. But anyway, I was starting to get interested in that kind of stuff. And we used to go sell soda bottles, them little glass bottles, and Coke used to come in. You could take them down to Cliff's drugstore and get 10 cents a bottle. And we'd go up and down the road collecting soda bottles. And we'd take them down there and get the candy. Well, I decided I was going to get me some extra bottles and get me a magazine. Got me a magazine called Easy Rider. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did. Hey, don't worry. Oh, this is before I was saved. I'm saved now. God's done forgiven me. This is back when. I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm just telling a story. It's the truth. Be judging me. Anyway, I'm in there and I get that magazine. I go up to the counter and Mr. Cliff kind of looks. He looks over at his associate over there and he's like, What? I'm going to sell it to him. I know his grandma. I want to see what she does. He did. He sold it to me. He knows good and well. I know he's back here looking at them when they come in. He knows what's in the Easy Rider magazines. It's kind of provocative stuff. You know, at the beginning of the magazine, it's just motorcycles and stuff. But boy, you get into the middle of it, and it's... Anyway, we won't talk. You don't need... Anyway. So, I got the magazine. We're walking back the trail, and Shannon's like, Granny's not going to let you have that magazine. And I'm like, she don't know. I'm telling you, she's going to make you take it back. Shut up. She is not. We walk in the door. Hey, y'all get y'all some candy. What all y'all get? I'm like, well, I got me a magazine. It's a motorcycle magazine. Oh, you did? Can I see that magazine? Well, no, it's just about motorcycles. You don't like motorcycles. Oh, let me see that magazine. Okay, here you go. She gets the magazine. She's like, okay, yep. Oh, my. Oh. There ain't words in heaven or hell to describe what I'm thinking right now. And I'm like, what? I just bought it for the magazines. I like looking at the headlights. The headlights. She was mad. I just looked at her and I was like, what? I'm just learning about the birds and the bees. Look, I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a visual learner. I'm not analytical. I can't process. You can tell me all you want to, but I gotta see it. I'm visual. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Shannon, you gonna take that back right now. Shannon's like, I didn't buy the thing, he did. Well, he's little. He didn't know no better. I was 8 months older. He was. He's just a big guy. So take it back. He just looked at me like, come you. I'm sitting there going, my kids call him Uncle Shannon. He's like, I don't know if I told you, he's a Baptist preacher now. We had him up the other day for, he was up in the Charlotte area. He lives in South Carolina. We had him up the other day and for supper, and I brought up that story, and he looked at me and he went, I could have killed you. I could have killed you. I thank God I didn't. Thank God. Right now, if I wasn't saved, I'd kill you. That's how mad I was. So I'm thankful. Hey, Jesus forgives, man. But I don't forget. Oh, man, I deserve to get my butthole stomped, man, by him. I put him through. I give as good as I got, though. It beat the crap out of me. I deserved it. But I'd give it right back, get him in trouble. Use my frail physique. You know, that kind of thing. But anyway. Oh, man. Birds and the bees. I feel for y'all that's got little kids nowadays that are watching this, because nowadays you got to talk about not only the birds and the bees. You got to talk about the birds that want to be bees, and bees that used to be birds, and birds that were bees, but the birds still have a stinger. You know what I'm saying? I don't envy y'all. Hey, man. I'm just telling it like it is. I don't know if that's a bird or a bee.